Hi guys, and welcome to another video. This week's video will be a reading vlog. I haven't done one of those in a while, probably since my reading Christmas books in December. So it's been a few months and I've missed doing it so much. I love doing reading vlogs. I think they're so fun. I love getting my reactions to books. So these are videos are just as much for me as they are for you. But I wanted to do kind of like continuing series that I'm in the middle of. I've seen a lot of people do that. I have a few books that I want to read. For example, tomorrow Wild Side by Elsie Silver comes out. So it's not so much series that I've been putting off, which is continuing series that I'm in the middle of. And Wild Side isn't the last one in that series. But the first book, which I actually started last night, and I'll insert the clips after this. After this clip, it will go for tomorrow when I started it. But I've been reading Play Along by Liz Ford, which is the 4th book in a Windy City series. But I talked about that yesterday, so I'll just... And then, like I said, Wild Side comes out tomorrow. I pre-ordered it, but it probably won't get here until... Today's Monday. It probably won't get here until Wednesday or Thursday, so I should be able to finish Play Along before that. And then I think the last one I want to read is Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sara Adams, which came out in January, and it's the 3rd book in the When in Rome series. And I really like her books, and I loved When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect. I think that will be the 3rd book, and I think those will be the 3 that I read in this video. Yeah, I hope that you will enjoy watching. Now the clips from yesterday will play of me reading Play Along. Disgusting behavior. Alright, let's talk. I am now on page 72, which is chapter 7, so it's about 20% in, I believe. Play Along by Liz Ford, which is the 4th book in the Windy City series, and there's a 5th one coming out. I don't exactly know when. I think either in April or maybe May. I have been putting off this series for so long. I read book 1 and 2, I think maybe in 2023, which is Mile High and The Right Move, and then I finished Caught Up this morning. Actually, I wanted to read Play Along, and I thought I would vlog that one because I think I'll like it. I was really excited with the crumbs that you get in Caught Up, and also just I know some of my friends they love this book so much, so I've been really excited to read it now that I finally pulled myself together to read it, and also just in time before the 5th one comes out. Yes, but let's talk about what the book is about if you don't know. It's a sports romance. The entire series is sports romance, but it's different sports. The first book was hockey, the second one was basketball, and then the 3rd and the 4th one are both baseball because they're both brothers on the same team. I've never read a baseball romance before, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know anything about baseball. I've never watched a game. That sport isn't really big in Denmark at all. It's not something we play in PE or anything like that. It's just I know nothing about it. I've never watched a game. I've never watched anything about it. But it is about Kennedy and Isaiah, and Isaiah is a baseball player for the Chicago team, and Kennedy works for the team. She is a doctor, but that's not what she is hired as. She's one of the physical trainers or something. She massages them and stuff like that before a game and after a game. I don't know what it's called. Isaiah has had a crush on her for 3 years, the entire time since he met her, but she is very perfectionist and her boss is very sexist, so she doesn't dare to do anything or talk to the guys at all, to hang out with them outside of work in any way, shape, or form, because she does not want to lose her job, because it's really hard to get a job as a woman in a male-dominated field. But Isaiah keeps flirting with her, which you've seen in Caught Up, and I was so excited to finally read their book. But the book is actually a marriage of convenience. They got drunk in Vegas and accidentally got married, or they got married because they were drunk out of their mind, wake up in the morning and we got married. If you haven't watched Friends, it's giving Rachel and Ross. And that's kind of just where I've gotten to, is they got married, they got back to Chicago. They were gonna get an annulment, but Kennedy is gonna lose her job if they find out that like the marriage wasn't real. So Isaiah tells the boss, and no, we're married. Like, I've been in love with this girl for 3 years. Like, we're good. We're good. We are for real. And I'm very excited about that because I love fake dating. And I know that this isn't necessarily fake dating, it's fake marriage, but I still love that. I also love a golden retriever boy instead of a broody man. And this is exactly that. He is a golden retriever boy who is obsessed with Kennedy, and that makes me so excited. So yeah, also I love the cover. I think it is so beautiful. Like, I don't know, like, I know it's just purple. Like, purple isn't even normally like one of my favorite colors, but I think that this cover is just stunning. Like, I don't know what it is about it. But anyways, I am gonna continue to read. I don't know how much more I'm gonna read because it is 10:30 at night, but maybe I'll get to like page 100. I don't know. One death drop, guys. I love them. I'm literally already obsessed. Why is Isaiah adorable? Shut up. Why am I gonna tear up? Why am I tearing up? Like, genuinely, what the frig? I can't. I need to annotate this page. Wait. Okay, if you don't want any spoilers at all, just skip this, like, maybe 20 seconds. But if you don't mind a quote, I'll put this here. Isaiah says, "Will you pick a favorite color for me?" And she says, "Yellow." He asks, "Why yellow?" "It's like you. Bright, happy. Reminds me of the sun. Yellow, good color. My favorite color, in fact." Why is that so cute? Like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna love this book. Like, hello. I haven't actually talked about this book since yesterday when I was on page 80 or something. But I'm on page 152 now, so almost double the amount that I was when I last talked about it. It is chapter 14, and I just wanted to give my little, like, current opinion on it. I don't know if this book will be like a 5-star read. I'm not like getting that feeling right now. I will rate it higher than Caught Up, I think. Maybe, I don't really know, but just I love Kennedy and Isaiah so much. I think they are so cute together, and I love Isaiah. Like, I love golden retriever guys, or like guys that aren't broody, and that is exactly what Isaiah is. He is a bubbly guy who is just always trying to make other people laugh and smile, but I just know he has like a deeper side to it, and I can't wait to like see that. And then we have Kennedy, who is like basically scared of like physical touch because she's never grown up with that. Her family is very like, they only care about, like, her family only really care about money. They don't care about like her as a person or anything like that. So it's just like so cute to see that they're so opposites, but they also would fit so perfectly when the time happens, when they actually like get together for real. Because obviously right now it's just a fake marriage, even though Isaiah does have a crush on her and like wants to be with her. She doesn't. Like, she keeps talking about like how this will end in 6 months and like she's gonna move and all that. I'm just really enjoying the book right now. I think it's just so fun, and I keep laughing and smiling, and I think I think I've captured a lot of those moments. But I literally just keep like having physical or like outwardly reactions to the book because I just think they're so cute and so fun. A lot of the things they're saying, it's just like a fun, lighthearted book that still has some deeper topics. I will say, ever since I became like a fantasy reader, not that I'm like fully a fantasy reader, I still obviously go back to my roots, but I read a lot more fantasy than I ever have before. So every time I read a romance, I'm like, where's like the plot? Because in a fantasy book, there's obviously like some bigger plot and the romance is more like the side plot. Whereas in romance, a lot of the time I'm like, what is the plot? Like, what moves the story along? But I think I'm realizing that most romances are just very character based. Like, there isn't really bigger, like, obviously the plot in this is a fake marriage. There's nothing like more. But I think I've started to realize that it's dangerous to become a fantasy reader because then romance all of a sudden feels like it's lacking something. With that being said, I also did just read Beartown, which is not a fantasy. It's not a romance either, but it doesn't necessarily have a plot. It is very, very, very character based, and I gave it 5 stars. So I am gonna continue reading now. I think I'll probably just read until I go to bed, which will be in about an hour because I have to get up really early in the morning. So, wait, why am I crying? It's not even that sad. I'm way too empathetic towards fictional characters because what do you mean I cry over their accomplishments? I need to highlight this. Oh my god. I feel so stupid for crying. Oh my gosh. That was chapter 21 for anyone who has read this book. Sometimes I wonder what it's like to not be an empathetic person who, like, I just mean like people who are not like overly empathetic where they will feel sad for other people or just like feel sad or guilty or anything like that in situations where you do not need to be. I'm like, why am I crying? It is a fictional. I don't think I've updated in the past 100 pages. I'm on page 270, which is now chapter 22, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Like, I truly, truly love it. I'm so excited for them to, like, I mean, Isaiah the entire time has liked her, so I'm so excited for like when Kennedy starts to truly realize that she likes him back. I really enjoy the writing. I think it's so good. It's not like, I'm not a, like, I don't love smut that much, and I would say like it's not overly sexual or anything like that. Like, I don't know, I really like both characters. I really like Kennedy and Isaiah, and I love all the side characters. That's what I was crying about, was literally like the characters from Caught Up. Like, that's what I love about interconnected standalones, is when you see the past relationships that you've read about, like you see them like evolve in a way, like stuff that happens, like, oh, you get to go to their wedding and stuff like that, and I love that so much. And I have less than 200 pages left. I don't think I'll be finishing it today, but I will definitely be finishing tomorrow. Wild Side by Elsie Silver came out today. My copy hasn't arrived, but it's because they don't ship it out, which is so annoying, but like they don't ship the book until day off, and the book is, I think, in the UK, like being sent here, so it never comes on the day. It sometimes comes, I'm trying to think of the last book that I pre-ordered, but I feel like usually they come like the next day. my god. I have less than 30 pages left and I'm like, I should go to bed, but I mean, I would be crazy to go to bed with 30 pages left. I'm gonna finish it. I'll be back. But I wanted to talk about Play Along because I finished it. Oh my god, my foot is asleep. No, 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 no. Let's talk about Play Along because like I showed last night, I finished it at like 11:45 I think p.m. I rate this book 5 stars, which I know I said literally earlier in the video. I was like, this is not a 5 star, like I'm not getting that feeling. But by finishing it, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling the 5 stars. And I haven't given a romance book 5 stars since I read Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver back in like October or November. So it's been a while. And I think this might be my favorite book in the Windy City series. But I do need to reread The Right Move because it's been so long that I don't really remember. I don't know if this is my favorite or if The Right Move is my favorite, but for now, this is my favorite. If I reread The Right Move, I think they'll just be like close, like basically at the same spot. I loved reading this book so much, and I love the representation kind of. Like Kennedy has like intimacy issues, and because she never grew up with that, like getting hugged or getting told I love you and stuff like that, really liked her character, and I loved seeing her get comfortable with these things with Isaiah because she's never had that like with past relationships or anything like that. She's never felt comfortable being with a guy or like showing physical affection. So I think that that was like really well represented in this book, and I think Isaiah is a great character. I love like the funny guy, but they keep showing like that he's funny and he's smiling even when he doesn't want to be because he feels like he needs people to love him or think that he's easy and fun to be around so that they want to stay. And like I cried so many times because I don't know, like just the pureness, is that a word? Purity? I think purity is a word, right? Like just like the pure wholesome vibes of this book, and just their communication I also think was really great. And the third act breakup wasn't really a breakup of any sort. Like it just like it made sense for the book, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't mad about it, and I was like, yeah, like this makes sense for that to be like the third act breakup or whatever. I really enjoyed it, and I also just think the cover is beautiful. I'm so excited for the 5th and final book in the series to come out. Rewind it back, it doesn't come out until like the end of May. So it's Rio's book, which is a side character that's been in all of the books, and I think he's really fun, and I think I'll like him as well because he's also a bubbly fun character. That was my review for Play Along. If you haven't read this,
I have amazing news. I got Wild Side. I had to wait an hour and a half at the mall wandering around because they hadn't gotten like the shipment unpackaged yet, but I got it. I did end up paying $7 more than what I originally had bought it for online. I was not prepared for it. I didn't know the price until I had to pay, and I'd already waited an hour and a half at the mall, so there was no way I wasn't gonna go home with it. And it was also awkward because that guy knew I had waited, so if I had just been like, oh, I don't want it. So now we have it, and I'm gonna start it, but my camera needs to charge, so I might just start it and then you'll see me afterwards. I feel like I haven't talked in a while. Actually, I don't think I've talked at all since I told you guys that I bought Wild Side, I guess. Now it's 10 p.m. so that was a long time ago. I am on chapter 11, which is page 92. So I thought I just wanted to give like an update and also give you guys like a rundown of what the book is about if you don't know. It is about Tabitha and Reese and Tabitha's older sister dies. Like that's like the first thing, literally like basically chapter 2. Like the story picks up the day after her sister dies, I believe. And the sister has a son, Milo. So basically Reese was renting out like the apartment next to his, I guess. And that's where Tabitha's sister lived with her son Milo. When Tabitha comes to like clean up the apartment and move out all the stuff after her sister is dead, she finds out that in her sister's will, she wrote down Reese as Milo's legal guardian. And so that's kind of what the book is about. It's kind of a custody battle in a way. But I know it's also going to be a marriage of convenience, but so far that hasn't happened or like been brought up. I actually thought that that was gonna happen like kind of early on, I guess. It's 450 pages, I think. I'm almost 100 pages in and that has not been brought up at all. But I know that that's what's going to happen. The overall gist about it is that it's these two people who both want custody over Milo. One thing though is like this series is supposed to be about single dads, but I feel like it was only in Wild Eyes, the second one, that we actually had a single dad. Because I mean, I won't like explain it in Wild Love if you haven't read that one, but I don't feel like he's a single dad. And I also don't feel like this qualifies as a single dad, that he has gotten guardianship over someone else's child. I don't know if I will like this book as much as the others in this series but I remember in Wild Eyes, like already in like the first few chapters, I was like crying because I felt for the characters and I felt like I related to them. And I think like even 100 pages in, I was like, oh my god, this is a 5-star read. I mean, I need to go back and watch what I said because obviously I vlogged it so I can see. But I'm pretty sure in the first 100 pages, I was like, this is a 5-star, like I love it. And I gave both Wild Love and Wild Eyes 5 stars. This, I don't really know. Obviously, I don't know the characters that well. But so far, like, I haven't even been able to film like any fun reactions because I literally haven't like had any reactions. I haven't smiled or giggled or cried, anything. Like, I just am like reading it. This might be my least favorite in the series. Good morning, friends and people. It is the next day. We're reading a little bit of Wild Side. I am on chapter 18, page 158. I'm still not loving it. I have smiled. I have felt a little bit towards the characters. Finally. I think the first reaction I had was 10 pages ago. It's taking a while, and I looked through my old video of me reading Wild Eyes, and literally 70 pages in, I was like, this is a 5-star read. This, I don't know, like right now it's like maybe a 3.5. I have nothing against Elsie Silver at all, obviously, like literally own all of her books. I love them. I've never disliked one of her books, and I don't necessarily dislike this either. I just don't care, I guess. Reese isn't my type or like someone I find attractive, so I'm not gushing over anything that he says or like feeling like, oh my god, like jittery or whatever when he's in a scene. And Tabitha, like I like her, she's a strong female character, but I don't relate to her, I guess. And I just low-key feel like neither of them have a personality. Like I feel like I don't know anything about them other than like what their occupation is and their relationship like towards each other and towards Milo, but I feel like they don't have a personality other than that. I don't know, like I just feel like the story's going along. I'm really sad that I'm not loving it, but I guess the entire series couldn't be a 5-star. But the wedding did finally happen, or like the fake marriage of convenience, whatever, and it was for the reason that I had guessed. I don't know if I had said what my guess was, but I don't want to spoil it, so. But the reason was what I had guessed. I don't really have much else to say. Like, again, like the writing is just exactly like her normal writing, Elsie Silver. It's fast-paced, like easy to read and like get immersed in the story, I guess. But I'm not feeling any like inclination to like keep reading. Like for example, play along. I mean, the other day I read 250 pages in one day because I just couldn't put it down and I just wanted to read it. And here I'm like, I don't really have any inclination, I guess, towards reading it. I don't like feel a need to pick it up. I kind of have to force myself to read it because I want to read it for the video. I mean, I would have read it either way, I guess. But those are my thoughts for now. I'm gonna put it down and take a break. Maybe I do like them. Wait, I'm gonna cry. That was so unexpected. Chapter 44. I've literally been sitting here with my jaw on the floor. It was just revealed what the trope will be for the 4th book. And obviously I won't tell you. You need to read the book. But literally jaw on the floor. I'm speechless. And I don't think I'm gonna like it. Alright, you guys, I just finished Wild Side, so let's talk about it. There were parts that I liked, there were parts that I had reactions to and whatnot. I tried to film most of them, but I would say that overall, this is definitely my least favorite in the series. Maybe one of my least favorite Elsie Silver books in general, but honestly, I feel like I can't compare it because it's been so long since I last read a Chestnut Springs book. I think my rating is gonna be like 3.5 because I'm thinking like I just recently read Caught Up and I rated that 3.75 and I definitely loved that book way more. So maybe this is not even a 3.5, maybe it's just a 3. And it's not that I think the book is bad, I don't. So I always feel bad. Every time I dislike a book, I feel bad for disliking it because I feel like it's a me problem every time. But at the same time, that's what it is, right? Like, that's what it shows, that reading is so freaking subjective, because I know my friends who read it think this is their favorite and like this is their new favorite in the series and they like really loved it. It just goes to show that reading is so freaking subjective and you can never like, you never should take a review too deeply. I mean, obviously if they like start bashing it and saying like this is the most, like this is the worst book they've ever read, it was awfully written and like awful characters, whatever, like then you could be a little bit offended. But to me, it's not because the book is bad. I feel like I've said this before, but I'm such a character person. Like, what makes a book to me is if I love the characters and if I have like a good time and I'm rooting for them. And I don't know what it is about this book, but I just didn't really connect to either of the characters, so I didn't really care for their relationship that much. Like, yes, there were cute moments, but I just think their personalities or their type or whatever is not a match for me personally. And now that I saw what the trope will be for the next book, I don't think that I will like it. At least I think it might be like this. Like, it's not that I didn't like this book. It's not like I'm like, oh my god, I hated this book, or like this was an awful read. Like, a 3 star is still a pretty good rating in my opinion. I have lots of books that I've liked and enjoyed that I've given 3 stars. I just didn't love it. I wasn't eager to pick it up. Like yesterday, I didn't read anything after I was home. I was literally bored. I was like, I don't know what to do, and I didn't want to read it. And I also took some time before I started reading it today. Like, I don't think I started reading until like 6 or 7 p.m. It's kind of sad. Like, I'm disappointed because I was so excited. But at the same time, actually, when I did know about, like, what I did know about the characters, I wasn't like, oh, this is gonna be my favorite or anything. At least it will look super cute on my shelf. But my next read is going to be Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sara Adams, which is the 3rd book in the When in Rome series, and it came out in the beginning of January, I believe. But I'm hoping that I'll like that one. I've seen people like give it 5 stars and say that it's their favorite in the series, so 2 books down, 1 to go for this video. Hello! We haven't talked since I started this book yesterday, Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sara Adams. Also, I'm kind of matching it. Not the same shade of pink, but I feel like it looks so cute together. Now I am on chapter 7, which is page 77. And I think it's 350 pages-ish. So I'm about 1/4 in. And this is the 3rd book in the When in Rome series. If I haven't said that, I think I have. But she's the sister of the 2 other characters that have been there previously, Noah and Annie. Her name is Emily, and she is a 2nd grade elementary school teacher, and Jack is like her nemesis who she's basically hated since the first day she met him at college when he spilled his coffee all over her. And he ends up moving in next door to her in this little small town. And she's really upset about it, like trying to get him to leave, trying to make the town hate him. But he's really charming, so it's hard. But that's kind of just like what happened. He moved in. Oh, my friend is calling me. Hi.
Hi.
All right. What was I saying? Yeah, basically it's summer break, so they don't have to work right now because obviously the school is closed. So yeah, not much has happened, obviously, but basically I guess it's supposed to be enemies, but I mean, I guess it's more like academic rivals, because in a way, like, they always like fought over the same jobs and like the same things in college and stuff like that. And now he just moved to this little small town of Rome, and they work at the same elementary school. But I don't know what it is, if it's just been so long since I last read Sara Adams, because I don't know if I've read a book by her since I read Practice Makes Perfect last summer. Was that in 2023? Oh my god, it was. Okay, I haven't read a Sara Adams book since Practice Makes Perfect, which I read in 2023, almost 2 years ago. So maybe that's why I didn't remember what her writing, and I think I've just read a lot of books that had really good writing. So this kind of feels a little bit Wattpad-y, and like, no offense to Wattpad, obviously. I mean, I was never a Wattpad reader, but not because I thought it was cringe or anything. I just wasn't a reader. So I don't know what it is. It's just like reading kind of cringy when I think about the fact that I think they're like 30 years old, and her inner monologue and like the way she acts is just so immature. How is she a teacher and like full-on adult? Like, I can't take it seriously. But I mean, I think I'll enjoy it. It won't be anything profound. Not that I expected that, but it might just be like a 3-star. And that shows my reading progression. Either that or this one is not as good. But I don't know, maybe I'll end up loving it. I could eat my words. Eat my words. I am only 20% in. But there is banter, and I do think that that's funny. I love banter, and I do giggle at their little interactions. I just think it's written very immaturely. I feel like, oh, this could be a YA book. The ages are just older, and they live alone instead of with their parents. But like, it reads like a YA, in my opinion. But it could still just be a really cute, fun little palette cleanser, and then I think I need to read like a fantasy or something. after this. I should read the third Beartown book because that has profound writing. That was my little update. I don't know how much more I will be reading today because I am going to hang out with my friend for the rest of the evening. I mean, it's only 3:45, but that's my plans until maybe like, I don't think I'll be back home until like 9 p.m. So maybe I'll read some tonight. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll read tomorrow. Hi guys, I have not really been updating at all while reading this book, but I just finished it. It's like Friday now. I think I've been filming this video for almost 2 weeks. And this book took like, I don't know, almost a week in itself. I don't know, like I haven't really been inclined to picking it up. So I've just mostly been reading it when I've been on the train or like at uni waiting for class to start. So not in instances where I could record. And I don't know if I'm getting in a reading slump or if it was because of the book or what it really was. Anytime I was home, like I was bored and I was like, I don't know what to do. But for some reason, I just didn't want to pick it up. So that was kind of unfortunate because I had seen that people like loved this book and this was their favorite in the series, but it's probably not going to be mine. I think I'm going to rate this book a 3 stars, which is not bad at all. Like a 3-star is still a really good book and I think a lot of people will really like this book. I don't know what it was about it. I just feel like the characters were kind of just giving me the ick a little bit. Like they were kind of just cringy, and I understand that a rom-com usually is cringy, but I don't know, I didn't remember feeling that about the other 2 books, but again, that was also 2 years ago, so who knows, maybe my taste has just changed and her writing maybe isn't for me anymore. I don't know. I'm not gonna give up on her. I'm not gonna give up on her writing, and I still do want to read the 4th book in the series whenever that comes out, maybe next year or so. But I would still definitely recommend this book. It's really cute. I think I did explain what it was about, but it's basically just like kind of academic rivals to lovers and their neighbors and there's just like a lot of bickering and all of that, but it also has like some deeper topics about grief, because if you read the other 2 books in the series, you learn like how these siblings lost their parents when they were really young, and she kind of struggles with that, but she also struggles with opening up. Like she keeps all of her feelings bottled up because she feels like she has to be there to help and protect her siblings, even though they're all grown up now and like in their 30s. She just feels this responsibility that she can't be vulnerable or show her feelings to her sisters or just to anyone in general. She just wants to keep it all private. And so you also kind of see like that aspect of it, and I do really like when there's some like deeper feelings or sentiments or whatever in a book. So I did really enjoy that, and I do like the characters. I think they had great chemistry. There were some cute quotes in here, and I think they were perfect for each other. So I don't really have an explanation as to why I didn't love this book. So I would just definitely say read it for yourself, and maybe it was just the timing of it. Maybe I would have loved it if I binged it in one day or something. I don't know. Never really had an inkling towards picking it up, and that's just what happens sometimes. I didn't really film a lot, but I also didn't really have that many reactions towards reading it in general. I feel like it happens a lot when you read a book a little bit slower because you keep getting out of the plot. Like I would read for 30 minutes here or 40 minutes there in a longer sequence or whatever, so you keep getting pulled out of the story, and so some of the beginning of the story already feels so far away even though it's only taking me a week. But just a lot of the times I can read a book in a day or 2, and this one is even short. Like this is the shortest of the ones that I've read, and this is the one that took me the longest. But nonetheless, enough talk about that, I guess. I am going to finish this video now because those were the 3 books that I wanted to continue for this video series that I've been in the middle of, and technically for now I have finished all 3 of those series because the next book and all of them are not out, but they are all series that will have another one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll try to do more reading vlogs because I do think that they're really fun, and I have some more planned, so look out for those ones. I think one will be about some fantasy. Subscribe if you want to watch that in the future. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!